it's that time of year, a day of hope and cheer. So finish your mock, you're on the clock, it's almost draft day. You could be anywhere, it's the game to play. Find a brand new way, it's almost draft day. You be anywhere, it's the game to play. Find a brand new way, it's almost draft day. You've been waiting all year, so let's open a beer. Check your training camp, time to crown a new champ. It's almost draft day. You could be anywhere, it's the game to play. Find a brand new way, it's almost draft day. You could be anywhere, it's the game to play. Find a brand new way, it's almost draft day. Make sure you're prepared, find your lock, you're on the clock. It's almost draft day. It's almost draft day.
Gentlemen, welcome to the neighborhood. Good to see you guys again. I'm very excited. You know, football is right around the corner. We're getting hyped. The video, it's taken a while to make, but I think it's worth it. I think this video is one of my best ones I've made. Excited for you all to see it. But I think we need to start by addressing some rumors. We did lose some members this past off season. Sad to say, Jack and Jod are no longer with us. I went back through the records and I saw that neither one of them attended the draft, and not a single roster move was made for their team last season. So I decided it was best for the league to axe them. Jack's been an off and on member for so long, and Jod's been here for a long time, but if you don't care, we really just can't have you in the league. So that's a reminder, please set your lineups. It's kind of the most important thing you can do for the team. But, you know, we still lost some friends. And this year I wanted to make the theme of the video friends and family. I think friends and family are obviously the most important things in life. And really, we're just one big family, right? Like, all of us have known each other forever. We've all best friends. Like, you guys are my family in a way. So this is usually the time of the day where I'd like do some like housekeeping for the league, but really we don't have anything. Everything's the exact same as last year. We're going to do the same betting pool. We're going to do the $25. I thought it went really well last year. Unfortunately, everyone sucks at betting. So I was going to use like how we bet to influence our position in the draft. But since we're adding a new member this year and everyone sucked last year, I decided to just kind of throw it out. We'll do traditional lotto pool this year. But yeah, no. So next year betting how you do when you bet will influence your position in the draft. I'm just going to let you guys know that now. So make sure when you're placing your bets to me every week that you feel confident in them, because it will influence your season next year. So yeah, $25 again. Get them to me as soon as possible. I'll keep it up. I'll put 300 in the FanDuel account and we'll get going. So before we get to the league write-ups, I do want to address the elephant in the room. We finally have a trophy. This was the Bonnie Branch Middle School Championship trophy that was sitting in Dave's garage before he now was moving. So I took it, I added some adjustments. I think I am still going to get a base to put on this, so this isn't fully finished yet because I want to carve our names into it. But yeah, we are calling this the Cooch. This is named after the late, great Nicholas Kouchalakis, the best substitute teacher in history. It is the Cooch. And you guys, Ryan can take it. As soon as I put the base on, Ryan can take it if he wants for the season. If not, it'll sit up here in Baltimore with me. But yeah, I'm excited to finally have a trophy to compete for. And once I get the names and stuff carved in, it's going to be super sick. I'm excited. Yeah, let's just get right into these write-ups. Again, you know, friends and family are like the most important thing. And I think we really have to focus on it, especially as we get towards the football season. And I hope you guys enjoy this year's write-ups. All right, I'll see you guys in a minute.
Hey Brad, I feel very honored Nikki asked me to do this, so here I go. The 2025 fantasy season was quite rough for our league's favorite mellow mustache mechanic. Little Bradley Weisfeld finished a regular season 5-9, and while Brad is not technically our Carter Chambers Man of the Year, he definitely feels like one in spirit. He came into the playoffs as a 10th seed and proceeded to get blown out by both the 9th seed and the 12th seed in the first 2 rounds of the playoffs. Ooh. Bradley's only saving grace is that he got to play the artist previously known as Jack and Jad in the Week 17 finals. J&J had only 4 active players on their roster, one of which was the Texans' defense. Somehow, Brad still managed to make it a little close and didn't even break 80 points. But in the end, he scraped out an ugly win of 79 to 49.1. Now, obviously, we can't blame Brad for the banal and enervating conclusion to last season's toilet bowl. And Brad, I know you don't read so good, so both of these words are synonyms for disappointing. By the way, the synonyms are words that mean the same. Unfortunately, no one in the league will be taking the hot sauce shot this year, but if Brad doesn't get it together this season, he could very well be guzzling liquid lava like a pledge in a teak basement. But for as much as I tease Brad, we should remember he is a 2-time league champion, an honor very few men can claim. So Brad, here's to a better season and a better year. Cheers, buddy. Go, Brad.
It's just in from the commissioner's office. Let's start with some context. Ryan Hartlove has been a member of the league for over a decade, which in his case is over half of his entire lifespan. He's a 2-time league champion and has a total of 5 top 3 finishes. In 10 seasons of fantasy football, he never finished in the bottom 25%. Until last year. Our favorite little beat boy suffered a crushing playoff run last year that resulted in him finishing in 10th place just outside the toilet bowl. To his credit, his first-round draft pick of CeeDee Lamb massively underperformed, and his geriatric running back Kamara and tight end Kelsey definitely didn't help his cause. His regular season record of 5-8-1 sounds like the title of a mumble rap album that he produced and we forgot to listen to. Maybe Ryan was just throwing off his game last year being out in LA. Life is different out there. Football starts at 10:30. You can actually go outside in the winter. And for the first time, Ryan had a variety of dairy-free options. If the Shaggy from Scooby-Doo-ass facial hair didn't show you already, our little 6th grader has grown up. Now he parties with rappers, rents penthouses, and has probably reenacted at least one scene from The Wolf of Wall Street in real life. As a result, I think he sucks at fantasy football now. Unlike his incredibly handsome older brother who has dedicated his life to sports, Ryan has lost touch, and he better hope to get it together before draft day. Back to you.
Everyone's surprised Sean Coelho did not accomplish much in the 2025 fantasy season. Our 2-time CCMOY finished the regular season at 3-11 and went into the playoffs as the bottom seed. While he did manage to win 2 playoff games and avoid the toilet bowl, Sean's team proved to be abysmal and dropped his already league worst 39% career winning percentage. Sean's top 3 receivers of Justin Jefferson, Lad McConkey, and Jalen Waddle all struggled to accomplish anything last year, which is a perfect analogy for Sean's dating life. Outside of Brock Purdy, Sean went pretty much injury-free last season, which makes his 3 wins an even more impressive feat. If it weren't for a little luck in the playoffs, Sean would be ripping a hot sauce shot and chasing it with Miller Lite. Now, as an official public service announcement, I would like to inform the league that Sean is a civil engineer in charge of safety inspections on multiple bridges in the state of Maryland. So to all my Marylanders out there, proceed with caution. We better hope Sean is better at his job than fantasy football, or else we're all screwed.
AJ is quite possibly the most mediocre fantasy football player of all time. He has never won a championship, but he's also never lost a league. His career winning percentage currently sits at 47%. In 2023, he finished in second to last place. But in 2024, he lost the championship to finish in second. Last season, he ultimately finished in 9th after a pretty uneventful season. AJ's brother in man buns, Puka Nakua, basically carried his team for the entire season. But if we want to get a little more exciting, AJ was involved in one of the more controversial trades of the year. Back in October, he offloaded the injury-plagued Jaden Daniels to Ethan in exchange for Kyrene Williams, which makes Ethan's final beatdown of AJ's team in Week 17 even funnier if you think about it. If history holds true, you can pretty much guarantee that AJ will not win the league this year. But he's probably not going to lose. He's like the modern-day Pittsburgh Steelers of the league, just trapped in fantasy purgatory forever. But if we want to look on the bright side, at least you won't have to miss any primetime Ravens games in the Netherlands this year.
Never has the term "a slow start but a strong finish" applied to a fantasy team more than Ethan Phillips' 2026 roster. Big Beefin finished the regular season with a 4-9-1 record and went into the losers bracket as the 11th seed just above Sean. He proceeded to average 125.7 points per game to climb all the way to 7th place and win the losers bracket. This is the equivalent of missing the March Madness tournament and then proceeding to dominate the NIT. Does this mean much? Not really. It's pretty much inconsequential, but it was impressive. Ethan only averaged 106 points per game during the regular season, but kicked it into high gear to prove that he's at least better than the losers. Historically, the Beefster is pretty abysmal year after year. He's only one of 2 players to never have a top 3 finish and sits at a 46% career winning percentage. Chief Eve is well known for being a wild card during draft nights and being the victim of countless trade rapes over the years. I have no proof, but I'm pretty sure Ryan slipped some stuff into his IC lights in order to get him to accept trades. Thankfully, the online drafts have improved Ethan's ability to draft players in appropriate rounds, and the Remember to Veto campaign is reducing trade rapes across the board. However, Ethan does deserve some praise for last season. He was the only member of the league to finish the betting pot in the green, with a total return of 1.007 units. While that's not super notable, the second best was Duffy, who just never placed a bet. In the end, I imagine 2026 will not be Ethan's year, unless I am secretly a football oracle. Best of luck, E. Amari Cooper is still retired.
Carter Miller-Chambers' legacy in the league will last far beyond any single season's team. He is the namesake for the last place trophy, having amassed 4 of them in his last 8 seasons in the league. However, by God's grace, Carter did not even have to sweat a last place finish this year. He had a pretty solid team led by Jamar Chase and A.J. Brown. He even got Brock Bowers and Lamar Jackson back from injury just in time for the playoffs. Carter finished the regular season with a 9-5 record and went into the playoffs as the 4th seed. This was going to be his year, and Carter had all the momentum the NFL could muster behind him. All the stars were finally aligning, and then he proceeded to lose by over 100 points to Dave in the first round of the playoffs, but hey, shit happens. Carter was so defeated, he literally stopped trying during the consolation ladder and finished the season at 6th place in the bottom of the playoff bracket. Carter is basically the Cleveland Browns of the league, more like the Jets, and just making the playoffs feels like a win in my book. On the bright side, Carter won't have his name carved onto his own trophy this year, and he won't have to suffer another hot sauce-induced stomach ulcer. So really, from Carter's perspective, last season was just one big win for his butthole.
Hello, Nicholas. Our fearless commissioner deemed last season as his rebound season. Just as we've seen many times, Nick reaches his lanky arms to the sky, grabs the rebound, and cripples himself on the landing, finding himself up from 10th but no further than his average finishing position of 5th. Also the number of pumps he needs to reach his average finishing position in bed. Can the commissioner finally return to his pandemic-era dominance? Or was that all a conspiracy, a mirage that we have collectively forgotten? Will Nick's second championship come this year? Noting his first and only championship came from before Hartlove had pre-pube era. The only thing we know for certain is Nick's obsession with rookie RBs on bad teams will continue, and a lose-lose trade with Ethan is imminent. Godspeed, Commish. We're rooting for you in the post-pube era.
Hi, Rye. I have a message for you from Nikki Antel. Ryan Morgan is one of the most accomplished members of the league. He completed 4 years of ROTC and graduated with a Bachelor's of Science in Mechanical Engineering. He's a graduate of the United States Army Airborne School, where he jumped out of helicopters for a couple months. And on top of all of that, the man knows how to fly a plane. However, in the end, all of that is basically worthless, since he's never won a league championship. Our league trophy must not be gluten-free because Ryan has avoided it like the plague. He's the only founding 5 member to not have a championship. Over the course of the past 11 years, Ryan has managed to rack up 4 top 3 finishes. The closest he ever came to winning was the 2020 season, where he lost to Brad in the championship by 37 points. He finished just outside the top 3 last year, coming in 4th after a hard fought. Wow. Let me try that again. He finished just outside the top 3 last year, coming in 4th after a hard-fought playoffs. But in all seriousness, Ryan, we appreciate your service, and we do genuinely want you to win one of these days. Best of luck, miss you, man, and congrats on your engagement.
The Whamster couldn't get it done in the semis last year and ended up taking home 3rd place. Now, this is where I would usually insert a couple of hilarious and well-articulated big head jokes, but I'm above that now. As I enter my old age, I feel like challenging myself, and I won't stoop to such lows henceforth. Cammy's team last year was cooler than a t-shirt tucked into joggers. He had Drake May, Jonathan Taylor, and JSN, who all finished top 5 in their respective positions. Honestly, Cammy probably should have won the league last year. He was barely edged out by Dave in the semifinals, losing by only 4.5 points. He ended up outscoring the championship winner in week 17, but it was only good enough for the bronze medal. Like Cammy's beautiful face, this team will be memorable. Cammy had 3 top 10 wide receivers on his squad in JSN, Chris Olave, and Nico Collins. He managed to snag the best fantasy value QB since sophomore Lamar in Drake May, and Cam finished the season with a plus 39 point differential. This means that on average, Cam scored 39 more points than his opponents on a week-to-week basis. But should any of us really be surprised? Cam is a 2-time champ and is the only non-founding member to win a league championship. He's a respectable fantasy player and a really stand-up guy. He's charismatic, charming, and has such a contagious laugh. Cam's presence in this league should never be minimized, especially for a guy with such a maximized noggin. Cam says he wanted to be an electrical engineer because it was interesting, but in reality, he was just tired of having to pay for all the power lines his head took out, and he decided he wanted to fix them himself. We have to keep Cammy in the Northern Hemisphere to balance out the obliquity of the Earth. Did you hear they had to close Club Agua because Cam decided to go out on the deck? But it's okay, because I actually want to go to the haunted house more. Good luck, Whammy. I love you.
Hello, yes, it's me, the champion, repeat champion, and also best man, to a man in particular, what this speech is about. Congratulations to the newly married Dave Archer and his wonderful wife Sarah, and congrats to me, his son, for having a hot stepmom, according to Nick there. My father's had a pretty decent year on all fronts. He's happily married, he's finally selling the house he flipped, and he came in 2nd place after only being in the league for 3 seasons. Dave was looking like January Joe last year, amassing a historic playoff run. He came into the playoffs as a 5 seed with a 7-7 record. He then proceeded to reenact Hiroshima, dropping a 221.4 point nuke on Carter's championship hopes. As far as I know, this is a new record for most points scored in a single week. He had 3 players, Trevor Lawrence, Amon-Ra St. Brown, and Kyle Pitts, all drop 40 burgers, and James Cook has a cool 31.1 point in that performance as well. A truly unreplicatable game that may never be topped. He then went on to score 145.6 points in the semis to send him to the inaugural Archer Bowl. That's right. But we all know my father has a soft spot for somebody. It's me, and he decided to only put up 86.2 points in the finals. Thank you so much. My father, he's the OG waiver wire wizard, and last season he made a whopping 69 acquisitions, nice, from the waiver wire. This included the aforementioned Trevor Lawrence and Kyle Pitts, but this was not enough to bring him the chip. Maybe this season, Mr. Dave will forever be a threat in this league, and the future is looking bright for him and his fantasy team.
Okay. Like the Dodgers and Chiefs, Ryan managed to pull it off. Back-to-back titles. Ryan now has 4 league championships, 7 top 3 finishes, and 7 division titles, leading the pack in all 3 categories. Ryan Archer has managed to finish in the top 3 7 out of 11 seasons this league has existed. Even with the allegations of drag rape that may taint history's view of Ryan's success, his skill on the waiver wire is undeniable. He has clearly managed to add/drop his way to a true fantasy dynasty. But can he do a 3-peat? Is Ryan Archer really on the same level as the 90s Bulls? I mean, besides the Hitler mustache that Ryan said was, quote, just a phase, he and MJ don't have a lot in common. I don't think he is mentally or physically equipped to handle the pressure. Ryan's pasty ass can't even go out in the sun, let alone fly too close to it. He has a lot riding on this season, way more than any of us. He now has a target on his back, tattooed around the back knee.
All right, guys, I hope we enjoyed that. Thank you to all your friends and family who participated. I'm really excited that I was there. I wish I was there to see your guys' faces for these videos. I thought it'd be fun. But yeah, thank you to all of them. Make sure you send this video to them. I'm going to try to get it out to them, but I do want them to see it. Obviously, I toned down the write-ups for a lot of us this year, so you're welcome. But yeah, that was fun, and I'm really thankful to everyone who participated. So yeah, draft's going to be on September the 8th at 7 p.m. That is the Tuesday after Labor Day and is the day before NFL kickoff this year. So we'll get that done. If you guys can't make that, please let me know as soon as possible. I do not want another day before the draft, someone has something to do, and we got to do that. I will literally burn all my Southwest miles to come murder you if you do that shit again, okay? So yeah, just let me know, September the 8th. Give me the league dues. And I think that's about it. I'm going to throw it over to our guest picker this year for the draft order. So I got to become queen here. I sent the picker this year, I sent them a list of names. And I sent them in just any order, like the order I could come up with it at the top of my head. So my name was first, and then it was a bunch of all you guys. And he just used that as the order, which I thought was totally unfair. So I did have to cut this video up. I had the order randomized, and then I had to edit this video to make it work because I'm not paying him again. There's budgets for these things, dude, and we got to make it fall in the budget. So yes, the video is chopped up, but that is the correct order that's presenting. Yeah, I think that's it for me. All right, enjoy. I'll see you guys soon. Remember, September the 8th, 7 p.m. All right, guys? All right. I'll see you guys later.
Hi-ho! Kermit the Frog here, and a very special hi-ho to you, the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen! Yes, my friends, gather around the old TV set, rewind the VHS, and do try not to record over anybody's childhood, because it's now time for your draft order! Are you ready? Because here it comes. Starting with number 1, picking first, is Shawnee, who I am told is, and I quote, this is not my words, but Shawnee is genuinely stupid and terrible with women. Good luck in life, my friend. Morgan, the gluten-free helicopter pilot who has never won, so mostly just circling around the trophy each year. Carter, who well, Connor is a lover of birds, and apparently not women's phone numbers. Good grief. It sounds like the whole lot of you should be picking less football thingies and getting out there into the real world to talk to real women. EJ, what is this? Bringing a man bun directly from his parents' basement. So I'm told. Good for you if that works. Nick, yes, your tall, lanky commissioner. Ethan, a giant with a beer belly, is the mysterious newcomer. Yes, and that's all the information I have on that. Brad, once nicknamed Kermit, but sadly still bad with women. Good grief, you poor thing. Is Cammy, whose enormous head may require its own draft pick. We've left that to the umpires to decide, Cammy, but we will have to get back to you on that one. The reigning champion, Archer, also known as Fish Boy, and I won't be asking why, which moves on to is Mr. Dave, who's 30 years older with a second wife and presumably several fond memories of dial-up internet. Good grief. Is Harto, the skinny guy with a goatee, who is very 90s. Good luck, gentlemen.
He seems happy.
Is it great?